And then to make things even more complicated, we have to factor in Trump.
Right. Trump definitely adds a whole other layer of complexity here, especially with his approach to international relations, which a lot of people have described as transactional diplomacy.
Yeah, that's one of the things I find most puzzling about this whole situation. Could you explain a bit more about what transactional diplomacy actually means? Like, how does that play out in practice?
Sure. Essentially, it means that you approach foreign policy like a business deal. You're focused on immediate, tangible benefits, quid pro quo arrangements. It's less about, principles and alliances,
Yeah.
and more about what can we get out of this.
So it's like a what's in it for me kind of approach.
Exactly. And in the context of Ukraine, we've seen this play out in several ways. I mean, Trump has repeatedly praised Putin, even calling the invasion genius and savvy.
Which is just bizarre considering that Putin, launched this unprovoked war against a sovereign nation.
Right. And those kinds of comments, they have real-world consequences. They undermine the West's united front against Russia, and they create confusion about the U.S.'s intentions. I mean, if the leader of the free world is out there praising the aggressor, it makes it really hard to rally international support for Ukraine and isolate Russia.
Yeah, it sends a really mixed message. And then there's the whole issue of U.S. military aid to Ukraine. Zelensky has been really vocal about needing continued support to fight off the invasion. But Trump's approach to this has been, well, inconsistent.
Yeah, to say the least. Sometimes he pledges unwavering support, and then other times he suggests that continued aid depends on Ukraine making concessions.
Concessions? Like what?
But one of the most controversial things he said is that the U.S. should have access to Ukraine's mineral wealth in exchange for its support.
Oh, right. I remember reading about that. Ukraine has these massive deposits of lithium, titanium, all sorts of valuable minerals.
Exactly. And so by linking U.S. support to access to those resources, Trump is basically framing the conflict in purely transactional terms. It's like he's saying, what can Ukraine give us in return for our help?
Which kind of plays right into Putin's narrative that the West isn't really concerned about democracy or Ukrainian sovereignty, but that they're just trying to exploit Ukraine for its economic gain.
Absolutely. It reduces this incredibly complex geopolitical conflict to a simple business negotiation.
Yeah.